Going to a Formula 1 Grand Prix is a very special experience. For many people around the world, it's their greatest dream. With races in almost every corner of the planet, it is a truly global sport like no other. For me, when it comes to going to an F1 race, it's not so much about the qualifying, practice, or even the race. Why Formula 1 races are so special is the atmosphere that you simply can't get through a television screen. The sound and speed of the cars, the passion of the fans, it is really something else. But going to a Formula 1 race isn't cheap. Before thinking about the ticket price, you need to pay for travel, accommodation, and food and drinks for the trip. So you can imagine going to every single F1 race in a season is a pretty big ask financially. But let's see how much it would cost anyway. Well, with China certainly cancelled, in 2023 there will be 23 races across 21 different countries. Now, this sets a new record for the highest number of races in a single season, beating 2022 with 22 races. And well, if you were to go to all 23 of them, you would travel a total distance of 133,570 kilometers, or 83,000 miles. That's over a third of the distance to the moon. So whichever stance you have on the amount of races in a season, one thing for sure is as the seasons become longer, going to every race won't become cheaper. But don't forget, there is a way to go to every single race in a season completely for free. In fact, you can even be paid to go to every single race. And you can do that by getting a job in Formula 1. I made a video specifically about how to land yourself a job in Formula 1, so instead of paying bucket loads to go to every race as a spectator, get paid to do it instead. Right, well let me just first explain how I'm going to do this. Firstly, all the prices have been converted into dollars for this video just to keep it all simple, and I won't be including costs for travel because it would be different depending on where you live, and I won't include food and drink costs either. So I'll be showing you the prices of 3-day tickets and accommodation at 3 different price levels: budget, mid-range and high-end. Also, for a couple races, the tickets haven't been released yet, so the prices included will be from 2022. So they may change a little this year. Well, let's start with the budget price range. Basically, what this would include is a general admission ticket, apart from a few street circuits that don't offer them, which is access to the circuit to walk around and watch from the side of the track. This does not allow you to sit in a grandstand. Now, the budget price range also means you'll be staying in the cheapest possible hotel or hostel. So when looking at the figures, for a lot of the European races, it's actually pretty good value. Over those 3 days, it comes out to just over $30 per day, which when compared to the top flight football matches, is actually very good value. And so adding all these up, the total ticket price comes out to $6,160, combined with the total accommodation cost, which is $3,335. So the absolute minimum you need to spend to go to every Grand Prix on the calendar is $9,495, or just over 9,000 euros and almost 8,000 pounds. Obviously, this doesn't include travel, food and drink, so the real figure would be quite a bit higher depending on where you travel from. So now moving on to mid-range, this includes a decent grandstand seat for 3 days, general access to the circuit, as well as a pretty nice hotel to stay in for the whole trip. And well, the figures are broken down as so. What I would say is this mid-range price level may be more expensive than budget, but I do feel you experience so much more with a proper grandstand seat. If you want to pay for a grandstand and a cheap hotel rather than mid-range, then that's obviously possible. And in many cases, you'll only be paying an extra $100 to upgrade to a grandstand ticket anyway. So in my eyes, it's definitely worth it. And well, adding up all these amounts, for just the grandstand tickets, it comes out to $13,525, with hotels totaling $9,955, meaning you'll need $23,480 in total to get that mid-range experience. So basically, it's over double that of the budget price level. But it really steps up once we look at the high-end price level, which is the most exclusive experience you can have at a Grand Prix. What it involves is basically a hospitality package which ranges from free alcohol and gourmet food, or even access to the race paddock. Basically, there are two types of packages, Champions Club and Paddock Club. For the case of this video, I'll only be including the Champions Club hospitality because Paddock Club is simply bonkers. Looking at the average amount for one of these packages, you're looking at just over $5,000 for 3 days, with prices ranging from $2,000 to $10,000. To get every single one for the whole season means hashing out $98,180 for tickets alone. Add on the $18,910 for accommodation, and you'll be paying $117,090 for the whole season. That's more than double the average yearly salary in the UK. Now, I'm sure as fun as it is to see how much it would cost, none of you would actually spend 9, 23 or 117 grand on going to every race. So if that's you and you just want to head to one race for as little as possible, then it's got to be the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's got the cheapest general admission at $100, the cheapest grandstand ticket at $230, and the second cheapest hospitality at $2,050, only 20 more than the cheapest being the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. On top of this, with the race being held in Budapest, it's also a very cheap place to stay with some of the cheapest accommodation on the calendar. Oh, and a pint in Budapest only costs $1.90, so if you aren't sold already, I think you are now. Now, on the other hand, it's not so hard to think about what the most expensive race on the calendar is. Obviously, it's Las Vegas, with the most expensive general admission at $500, most expensive grandstands at $2,000, and the most expensive hospitality at $10,000. It's so ridiculously overpriced that you can even buy a package from the Wynn Hotel for 3 days priced at $1 million. So yeah, the Americans have well and truly arrived in Formula 1. So there you go, apart from transport, food and drink, that is everything you need to know about going to a Grand Prix. Honestly though, I really urge you to go to one if you haven't already, and I especially recommend going to a race in a different country so you can see not just fans from another country, but also experience a whole new culture. For me, going to the 2022 Italian Grand Prix was one of the greatest experiences of my life. So there you have it. Let me know if there's any other information you would like, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell to be reminded of any new videos.